Oi.
Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome to The Wave, the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast. We're back again.
We are again back here.
How are you, Adam?
I'm very well, thank you. Your good self.
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got a smirk on your face. There's
because,
a story coming.
No, there isn't a story coming. I will be honest, I do not feel the highest energy I've ever felt.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you a little bit. I'm a bit tired today.
But
we'll get through it.
We're still going to have fun.
Of course we are.
Because we always do. And there's plenty of news.
Absolutely.
And indeed chat to chat
There's
about.
Loads of news and chat for this week's Wave.
What have you been up to this week?
Nothing.
Okay.
I have no news or life stories to report. Do you?
I have been to the theatre 3 times in the last 7 days since
Wow.
we spoke.
You are so refined. 3 times?
Yeah.
Wow, what have you been to see?
Absolute culture vulture. I mean, I did see the same thing once.
Twice once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was the dancing show that my whole rest of my household were in.
Of course, yeah. How was that?
I managed to snag a bonus ticket on one of the nights.
So you went to see it twice?
Yeah. That was very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, very hip and, people doing all sorts of dance styles. And
So is this the wife and the kids?
yeah,
All dancing?
yeah.
Why are you not getting involved in this?
I
Have no rhythm whatsoever.
yeah. There's no class for dads dancing.
Why not?
Yeah,
We need to get this started. Dad dancing class.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen you dance. It's probably best not do it on the stage.
It's been some time.
It's been a while.
I mean, I'm quite happy to get up and have a dance.
Yeah.
But
Like a wedding or
I
something.
wouldn't say my skills.
I don't even
were-
like dancing at a wedding or anything like
No.
that. I don't
I
really
used
know
to
what to
I used to
do.
like getting out and having a dance.
Did you?
Dance or a bit of a mosh or something.
A bit of a mosh.
Yeah.
It was a rock chick.
It's a long time ago.
So that's twice.
Yeah, and then went to see a kind of, I wouldn't say stand-up, kind of a stand-up show.
Okay.
Went to see Adam Kay.
Oh, is he the doctor dude?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
he's an ex-doctor. He was the guy behind This Is Going to Hurt, which was on the BBC last year.
Yeah.
And did really well. And he's got a tour going around currently with a book.
Sweet.
And he was, I'm not ashamed to say, I cried.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I cried.
That emotional.
It was. It was funny, and he sings a few songs as well.
Oh, really? The guy's an all-rounder.
And yeah, it was quite emotional.
Was it good?
It was good. Yeah,
Worth checking out for our listeners.
yeah.
Did you get a chance?
If you get the chance, and he signed some books at the end, took some photos.
Excellent. Did you get to meet him?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
You've had a good week.
It was good. I'd recommend that show. It was very
Excellent.
good.
I've not been to a stand-up comedy show for a while. I don't think I've been to one this year yet.
There you go.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's been my week. I think
Hectic
pretty
week.
much.
Cool. I've got a question of the week for you.
Brilliant.
It's a crazy one. It's not like a would you rather either. There's an actual... I want an answer from you.
Okay.
How many ducks would it take to kill a full-grown rhino? I've got a bit more to it to this.
Okay.
The ducks have normal duck intelligence, but they're really pissed off with the rhino.
Okay.
And they won't run away, even if a few of them get killed.
I think more than a few are probably going to get killed.
Yeah.
Can I give you my initial thoughts?
Yes.
Rhinos are quite thick-skinned
Yes, that is true.
and tank-like.
Yeah.
And as angry as a duck could be, they're not known for having the sharpest beak, are they?
No.
So I think you're going to need a lot of ducks.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of even if you've got hundreds of ducks, the rhino is going to be able to just smash his way through and at least try and create some distance.
Agreed.
So he would literally need to be overwhelmed over time and punch himself out. I think that's got to be the logic.
You've got to wear himself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of exhaustion takes over. So I think you're going to need 10,000 ducks.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of ducks. I got this question off Reddit. And somebody's done all of the math.
Right, okay.
And this guy has concluded that the only way that these ducks could kill this rhino is if they crushed him to death.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, you would need 3,928 asshole ducks on the back of this poor rhino. So therefore, we would need to stack our ducks.
But okay. That's the physics and the maths. I'll let you continue, sorry. But my issue with that is ducks aren't that organised.
No, that is true. Can I read? This is quite
yes.
Let me read it for you. He says, so we need to stack our ducks. And just so you guys are fully aware of what we are doing here, these are reportedly only 6 poor white rhinos left in the world, and you want to crush one to death by ducks. But let's continue. We need to stack our ducks 131 ducks high.
Okay.
If the average duck is maybe 20 centimetres, the duck pile is now 26 metres high.
Wow.
That's how high a pile of ducks you need to crush a rhino to death. 3,928 ducks would crush a rhino.
It just doesn't work for me because the key point in the question is their average intelligence ducks. They're not going to line up.
No, they're not.
They're not that organised. I still think a rhino would survive that many ducks if you were just putting them in a space and
I think you're right.
letting them go at it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you need like 10,000 ducks.
10,000 ducks. That's going to be really high if we're already at 26 metres with 3,000.
That's like what Alanis Morissette sang, wasn't it? It's like having 10,000 ducks when all you need is a knife. Sure, that was that lyric.
He says the flaw in his pile of ducks plan is the ducks on the bottom are not going to make it very far.
No, true. You can't. Well, you know the other saying: you can't kill a few rhinos without smashing a few ducks.
It's a good question, though. I enjoyed that. Shall we?
Don't mind a duck.
You don't mind a duck?
Yeah, just like as an animal, I'm reasonably.
Out of all the, as we know, I have my issue with our feathered friends. I don't like birds.
Yeah. But
out of all of them, ducks probably. I wouldn't be as intimidated by a duck.
Okay.
My cousin got chased by a swan when we were kids. That was quite scary.
Yeah, well, they're big.
That was quite scary.
You were a rearing up swan at full.
Actually,
span.
saw one. I went out the other weekend to a local country house, and there was a massive swan there.
Yeah.
My niece called it a massive duck. She just kept screaming "massive duck" at it. It was really funny, but it was huge. I've got a picture of it. I'll put it in the Discord. It was a huge swan. But yeah, swans are dangerous guys.
Dangerous guys.
Dangerous guys. I don't know if I was saying dangerous guys or dangerous.
I didn't know if you were giving a warning.
I think I was.
To the guys.
The guys that are listening now need to know that swans are dangerous, man. Not a dangerous. Oh, let's stop. Do we move on to Netflix news?
Sure.
Where do we begin?
Do you know what? There's not much Netflix news this week.
Okay.
This week, but we will start with Netflix news. But just a warning ahead of time is that the main focus will be that movie news coming out of CinemaCon, which was last week.
Okay, cool.
In Netflix news this week, it has been announced 2 new projects in production by Harry and Meghan.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what to call them now. Are they? Is he still a prince? I don't know.
I think he is by name, but not by nature.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That's what we should call them, isn't it? Yes, 2 shows currently being worked on. The first one is being curated by Meghan, and is a lifestyle program.
Oh, right, okay.
Which Netflix says will celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship.
So she's getting her friends around to do a gardening for her.
Will be directed by a guy called Michael Steed, who was a director for many of Anthony Bourdain's shows.
Okay, yeah, I know that guy.
And the second series they are working on, and this is right up Netflix's alley, it's a sports documentary series.
Right, okay.
And I know we've joked about how many of these are available on Netflix.
Yeah, there are a lot.
So you might say we're down to slim picking sports-wise.
Yeah.
But it is a good fit, I would say, for what we know of this duo.
Right.
For it is a behind-the-scenes sports documentary in the world of professional polo.
Okay. A sport I literally know nothing about, so it might be educational.
Hammers on horses.
Yeah.
It's that one, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think you hammer the horses.
Yeah, water polo. Don't
No
ride
horses.
a seahorse, do you?
No, you don't.
That makes no sense.
Or have a hammer.
No.
But it's a completely different sport, in fact.
Yeah.
I want to see water polo, but with horses and hammers.
Sure.
Swimming on backs of horses.
if the hammers are like hammerhead sharks, I now feel
Even
like
better.
we're in like Mary Poppins or something, or the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Polo documentary.
yeah.
Is Prince Harry involved? Is he going to be...
He is executive. They are both executive producers on both.
So they're not going to be in them. They're just
Program.
making these shows.
Netflix say both shows are in early stages of production.
Okay.
So I don't think we have the answer to that.
Sweet. Okay.
I think Prince Harry is like a sideline reporter on Polo. Could be right. At least get him to narrate it.
Yeah.
They're paying him a lot of money. Get him to.
You've got to be on camera, isn't it? Else nobody's really going to care.
Other streaming show news is that after a very long gap of 8 years, we are getting a second season of The Night Manager.
Oh, really? I watched that.
I did. I remember liking it.
Yeah.
And then it's 8 years
I
old.
have no idea what it's
Basically.
about now. But
It was Tom Hiddleston,
yeah.
who was a night manager at a hotel,
Yeah,
and he was
like
like,
on a luxury island or something.
he was like recruited to take down Hugh Laurie, who was a weapons arms dealer.
I do remember that. I don't remember Hugh Laurie being in it, but I do remember
he
that.
He was
that
like the
whole
bad
story.
guy, and it was an adaptation of a John le Carre
Yeah.
novel.
Well,
Well,
the second season.
well, no,
Oh.
not just the second season. For the BBC have gone into business with Amazon
All right.
and commissioned 2 more seasons
Wow.
of the show,
Okay.
with Tom Hiddleston returning in the lead role.
Nice.
Hugh Laurie returning at this stage has only been announced as an executive producer.
He'll be in it. Was he killed in the first one?
He was taken off in the back of a van, I think,
Right.
by gangsters. Yeah, eight years have passed.
That
since
doesn't
the
feel like 8 years
finale
ago.
of season 1.
That doesn't feel like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But again, it's that old thing of you suddenly realise you think 2016 is quite recent,
Yeah.
and it's not at all.
It's because we had 3 years in the middle when nothing happened.
Well, I guess there is that. So, yeah, the BBC, obviously, we talked a few weeks ago about them partnering up with Disney for
We
Doctor
did,
Who,
yeah. Yeah.
and now a partnership with Amazon for The Night Manager.
Sweet. Cool. I look forward to that. That'll be a good show. I might have to rewatch the first one just to rekindle my...
I'm sure it's still available,
I'm
yeah.
sure it is.
Who has time to do that?
Nobody.
In other renewal notice, a renewal that's been a bit quicker than 8 years is the news that Apple have renewed Monarch Legacy of Monsters
Awesome news. That was a really good show.
for a
really
second
enjoyed
season. They have also announced Apple TV at the same time that they have struck a multi-series deal with Legendary Entertainment, which will include multiple spin-offs based on the same franchise.
They're getting involved in the Monsterverse.
So you've now got a TV Monsterverse
Yep.
and a cinematic Monsterverse.
But they've merged.
Oh, do they? Are they
Yeah.
the same?
Yeah. They're
thing?
in the same
Okay,
universe. Yeah.
Fine. Morgan Wandell, who is head of international development for Apple TV Plus, said, "We couldn't be more excited for viewers to not only have the chance to experience even more thrills in season 2, but to embark on epic new journeys in the franchise as we expand Legendary's Monsterverse."
Awesome. Now, while you were talking, then my microphone collapsed, so bear with me 1 second. It's back where it belongs.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The same show running team will be behind season 2, so you will have some continuity there. Did
Have
you
you-
watch all that?
I did, yeah, I loved it.
I
thought
don't
it
have
was
Apple
really
TV.
good. Do you not?
So, no.
If you ever get it, because they do a lot of like free
Yeah.
trials, if you ever get it, do check it out. It is really good. I really enjoyed it. I need to go and see Godzilla and Kong.
Okay.
The new one of them's come out, isn't it?
Yes, it has.
I'll probably go next week. If I do, I will let you know.
Fantastic. Apple have also announced a new TV series that they have commissioned.
Okay.
It is a 10-episode golf-based comedy,
Golf comedy. Nice.
and will star, the 2 leads will be Mark Maron,
Right.
who is a extremely famous podcaster.
Yep.
And you may know from Glow, I guess, maybe is his most famous acting
Yeah,
role.
probably.
And Owen Wilson.
Oh. You really took the wind out of my sails there. I'm not an Owen Wilson guy.
The Deadline reports that the untitled as yet comedy stars Owen Wilson as Bryce Cahill, an over-the-hill ex-pro golfer whose career was derailed 20 years ago after he gets fired from his job at an Indiana sporting goods store and his wife walks out on him. Price hedges his bets entirely on a troubled 17-year-old golf phenom played by Peter Dager.
Right, okay. I don't know who that is, but...
Me neither.
It's an interesting concept.
Sure.
I mean, all sports movies are the same, aren't they? All sports TV shows, movies are all the same.
I'll relive my lost opportunities through you.
Even go-karts that we did on the show, that had that story.
Of course
That had exactly that story. Yeah. Cool. Apple don't put many foots wrong.
Many foots.
I've got a few things I've watched on Apple to talk to you about later on, so... Because I've forgotten to write them down.
We'll wait and see if they put a foot wrong with that.
Nice. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that.
Golf clap. I think this is the most exciting news story this week.
Okay.
Because I didn't know this was happening.
Nor did I.
Edgar Wright
Yeah.
has lined up his next directorial gig.
Okay.
And he is going to adapt a Stephen King.
I did not know this was coming.
But it is also a remake because this has been adapted as a movie before. Edgar Wright will be reimagining, according to Paramount, The Running Man.
Nice.
And he has cast his leading running man.
Okay.
It will be Glenn Powell, who you may most recently know from Top Gun Maverick.
I thought I recognised his face. I don't recognise the name, but the face is familiar.
Yes.
Technically, it's not a Stephen King book. It was written by Richard Bachman.
The same guy. Yeah, 1987, The Running Man movie.
Okay.
Anyone who's not familiar, it's a futuristic novel, a chase thriller set in a dystopian America in the far future year of 2025.
Wow. Imagine if the movie came out that year. That'd be well good.
Right, there's a good chance. Yeah. It might be 25 or 26, set in the present day.
I've read.
We're not running around in.
No, we're not.
Tight.
Some people are. Like park runs, I think.
Not like a full bodysuit, are they?
I don't know. Onesies are a thing.
Yeah. True.
I've read The Running Man, but it's been a long time, so I'll brush up on the story and.
It's a guy taking part in the reality TV show where you last man to survive wins a load of money because he's like desperate. Has he got his daughter's poorly or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Always happy for a Stephen King adaptation.
What will Edgar Wright do with that? Yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Good man for it as well.
Talking of British directors.
Yeah.
Alex Garland, who is, if it's not out already, is imminently releasing Civil War.
So might be today.
A24. Yeah, I think it could be. Again, has lined up his next directing project.
Okay.
And it is not entitled something too different from Civil War. It is called Warfare.
Right.
And
got a thing for war at the moment, this guy.
Indeed. He will be co-directing it with Ray Mendoza, who he worked with on Civil War as the military supervisor. So there's definitely a theme going through this. They both wrote the screenplay together, and several cast members have been revealed. Noah Centineo.
Oh, friend of the show.
Is on board.
I don't know if he's a friend of the show. He's been on the show a lot, but I don't know if he'd like it if he found out that he'd been on the show a lot.
As is Joseph Quinn.
Okay.
Kit Connor.
Oh, wow.
Cosmo Jarvis, who has been in Shogun on Disney Plus.
Right.
Will Poulter.
Great cast.
And Dafara Wunatai from Reservation Dogs. I don't know if you've seen any of that on Disney. It's like a Taika Waititi comedy.
Okay.
Variety says that the plot details are currently shrouded in secrecy. And there is much talk of what kind of war this will be. Is it future set? Is it current? Who knows? But that's quite the cast of.
That's a heck of a cast of young
grunts,
young good-looking men. It's going to be a war about good-looking men.
Centre war.
Yeah. Do you like a war movie?
Some.
What's your favourite war movie?
Oh, good question. There's. I don't know. There's so many. I'll tell you a couple that first popped into my head.
Go on.
So, I don't know if you really count this. Aliens.
Yeah. It's a war movie.
I always did like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I always remember you watching Apocalypse Now when you were
younger.
younger.
Like, oh, just, you're just saying that to be a...
I must admit, when I think of Apocalypse Now, I always think of
but-
you, because you used to watch that quite a lot, I remember.
What about you?
I've got a bit of a soft spot for Hacksaw Ridge. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a great film.
Yeah.
Dunkirk's good.
I've not seen Dunkirk.
Have you not?
No.
It's good. Yeah, I'm not a big war movie guy, but those two... Oh, 1917?
Yeah.
That was quite good.
Yeah.
I like the gimmick of that.
Cool.
Modern war... Apparently modern films about older wars. That's what I like. Because I was going to say modern war films, but that's not right, because they're not about modern wars.
Yeah.
Dunkirk, Hacksaw Ridge, and 1917 are all quite recent, is what I'm getting at.
Got ya.
Cool, that's good though. Good for Noah Centineo. I like that he's getting like mainstream roles.
You were nearly going to say proper roles.
Proper roles, yeah. I was. Next.
Talking of Alex Garland,
Yes.
we mentioned a few weeks ago that he and Danny Boyle were involved in a pair of new movies in the 28 days, weeks, years later universe.
Yeah.
There will be two movies called, or whatever they're called, Part 1 and Part 2, 28 years later.
Right.
We know that Danny Boyle will be directing the first movie.
Yep.
Executive producing the second. Deadline again is reporting that Nia DaCosta is in talks to direct Part 2
Do we know Nia DaCosta?
of 28 years later. She directed the remake of Candyman a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And last year directed the Marvels for Disney.
Sweet, okay. Good name then.
Yeah.
Solid name. Those films are going to do really well, I think. I remember people talking about 28 years later, not long after 28 months later, or weeks later came out, not 28 months. 28 months later would be well good. Just over 2 years.
Oddly specific amount of time.
Cool. Okay, we'll keep our eye. We'll have loads more news stories about 28 years later.
So, someone's talking and no one's listening.
Okay.
Zack Snyder
That's standard.
has done an interview last week with Empire magazine. Now, this is mostly to promote the upcoming release of Rebel Moon Part 2
Oh, is that still coming?
for Netflix. Not that you'd know it on my
Same. I've not
algorithms.
said anything about it at all. It's like been... Are they burying it?
But yes, I believe it's out the 19th of April.
That's really soon. That's like this week as we record, or as we release. I've not seen anything about it. And it feels like they might be burying it slightly. Bury the lead?
I don't know if they're burying it. I
They're
don't
not
think they're
advertising it.
actively giving it as much promotion. Anyway, as part of the interview, Zack Snyder answered a load of reader questions.
Okay.
And someone asked what he would change, if anything, about one of his movies.
Okay. Hasn't he already done that?
Yes, a lot. So I don't think he's got many to go back and change, but
No.
he did give an answer.
I would rate Rebel Moon good.
And he said, the only movie I would change is Sucker Punch, because it's never got finished correctly.
Right.
Even the director's cut is not really the correct cut. It's just an extended version. If I had the chance, I would fix that movie.
I'll make it 8 hours of it on black and white.
He then said, I've got all the footage that's been shot. I've got everything I need to do it. They just have to let me put it together. I ask whichever distribution company has this. I ask them every now and again, and I think there has to be a window where no one's got the rights to the movie. He also said, if any of you guys want to start a campaign for this, feel free.
I hate this guy so much. So much. Don't start a campaign, please. If I find out any of our listeners have signed up to that campaign, they're not welcome to be listening anymore. I'm not even familiar with Sucker Punch. I don't know anything about it.
It's a load of women dressed as schoolgirls getting revenge on.
Oh, I do know it.
The institution they were raised in.
I do know it. No, leave them.
It's like 15 years old.
Fuck off, Snyder.
Okay,
Next.
How about a double header of Transformers news?
Why not?
Sure. So, one of which I am more excited about than the other.
Right.
I will let you to see if you can determine which. We have had news this week at the aforementioned CinemaCon that Paramount Pictures is moving forward with Transformers 1, the first animated movie in the franchise.
This is the one you're excited about, yeah?
Yeah.
I knew you said
in
that.
about 40 years,
Yeah.
i.e. since Transformers the movie, one of the best animated movies ever made.
One of the best movies ever made.
And joining the voice cast for this are Chris Hemsworth
Okay.
and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, a couple of Avengers.
Yeah, they will join Brian Tyree Henry, who has also signed on for this.
Nice.
And also joining the cast are Keegan-Michael Key.
He's in everything.
Yeah, he really is. Steve Buscemi,
Wow.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Nice.
and John Hamm.
That's a great cast.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Paramount are describing it as the long-awaited origin story of how the most iconic characters in the Transformers universe, Orion Pax and D16, went from brothers in arms to become sworn enemies Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Is that their real names?
Apparently so. I do not know Transformers lore.
I don't either, but we're about to find out, apparently.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I'm up for that. And Transformers, so I feel like I don't know anything about the origin of Transformers, even though like Transformers has been around my entire life.
Yeah.
And there's always been movies and TV shows, but I don't feel like I knew where they came from.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth came out to the presentation himself to say that audiences will experience something truly spectacular. He will voice a young Optimus Prime.
Nice, okay.
Uh,
He's got a lovely cardigan on in that picture.
this is lovely, isn't
It is
it?
lovely. I'd wear that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look as good as he does in it, but I'm not sure about his mate's blazer, though.
No,
I don't know when this became a fashion podcast.
it looks like the Amazon logo.
It actually genuinely does.
So the second piece of Transformers news this week is that Paramount have also officially announced that the next movie in the Transformers live action universe, I guess, it's got real people in it,
Yep.
not real Transformers, will be a crossover with Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Okay.
The worlds will collide.
Wow.
Apparently this was teased at the end of a sort of a post-credit scene at the end of the last Transformers movie, Rise of the Beasts.
Okay.
And they are moving forward with this. Executive produced once more by Steven Spielberg, because I'm sure these movies have helped add to that $4.5 billion
that we talked about last week.
he's got in the bank.
100%.
No director is yet attached.
Cool, okay.
Interestingly,
Crossing
though,
worlds.
really interestingly, I thought this puts things in perspective. Talking of Spielberg produced movies.
Yeah.
So Rise of the Beast last year,
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't make much of an impact.
No, I think
or
you're
headlines,
right. I'd
but
forgotten it existed.
its global box office was $439 million.
Wow.
Compared to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which limped to $380 million.
Jeez.
So
People just go out and watch Transformers movies and don't talk about them.
You don't have to pay Harrison Ford's paycheck in a Transformers movie.
Very true, you don't. Okay.
Okay. Couple of news stories left. Again, coming out of CinemaCon. Another property that seems to exist in multiple forms
Yeah.
currently, animated movies, TV shows, is adding another branch to its tree, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We're getting another one.
A new live-action adaptation
Okay.
is coming our way, again, according to Paramount, scheduled for 2026, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin,
Okay.
which is a adaptation of a dark, gritty, violent Ninja Turtles comic
Oh, right. Interesting.
from back in the 90s.
They're growing up a bit.
The Empire says this is a pitch black tale of dystopia, murder, and vengeance, not for kids. The Last Ronin is set in a I can't speak.
You can do
It's
this.
been
You can
too
do
long
this.
a week. A totalitarian
Well done.
future New York, where Shredder's grandson has killed 3 of the turtles
Oh, wow.
and Splinter using artificial ninjas. The one surviving teenage mutant swears bloody revenge and enacts it using his and his fallen brother's weapons.
That sounds really good.
The script is being worked on by Tyler Burton Smith, who recently, in the last few years, wrote Child's Play and the upcoming Bill Skarsgård flick Boy Kills World.
Right, okay. I saw the newest Child's Play and it was not good. So.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting, though. I like that idea of, like, gritty Ninja Turtles. I love the term artificial ninjas.
Yeah, I can only hope that I want to see it done retro. And when they talk live action, we're doing it with one of the costumes from the 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja
even better.
Turtles.
Even better
I'd
idea.
love to see that.
But in, like, a Sin City style movie.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Let's do that. Any more?
Yes, one more piece of news this
Okay.
week. Again, part of Paramount CinemaCon presentation
Okay.
is its upcoming animation slate.
Right.
And I do not know why they've decided to do this, but they have announced that there will be a new animated adaptation of The Last Airbender.
I get another one. What? People are all over that franchise at the minute.
Yeah. And signed up to it so far are none other than Dave Bautista
Nice.
and Eric Nam. They will lend their voices to what is tentatively titled Aang, The Last Airbender.
Okay.
So, yeah, you've got Netflix's live action take on one hand and
Paramount's
this
animated one on the other.
animated take moving forward as well.
Sweet.
Also, another franchise being resurrected
Okay.
is The Smurfs.
Oh, nice.
Which,
Animated?
yes, it
Oh.
has quite the cast list, though. They've nabbed none other than Rihanna to play Smurfette. She
Wow.
will also write the music and produce the movie.
Right.
Also joining that movie are Nick Offerman, Natasha Lyonne, Dan Levy, Amy Sedaris, Nick Kroll, James Corden, Octavia Spencer, Hannah Waddingham, Sandra Oh, Alex Winter, Billy Lord, Cholo Mariduana, Kurt Russell, and John Goodman.
What? That's a
Smurfs.
lot of stars.
Smurfs are back, baby.
They definitely are with that cast. That's incredible.
That will arrive in 2025, as will the next SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Okay.
The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, will arrive just in time for Christmas in 2025.
Sweet. I can't get over that Smurfs cast. That's a crazy amount of celebrities in there.
Smurfing great.
They're Smurfing fantastic. Any more news?
That's all the news.
Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've watched a couple of things.
What have you been watching, Nick?
Something that's not on my list,
Okay.
but I've remembered that I watched it
I've got something on my list that I've...
because it was
remembered
prompted
too.
by an item in the news.
Okay.
I actually watched with my eldest daughter The Marvels.
Oh, okay.
And
Thoughts?
do you know what? It got absolute... No one went to see it, did they?
No,
Got
nobody
shredded
Nobody went to see
at the
it.
cinema. It is no worse than a decent Marvel movie.
Okay, it's no worse than a decent
Yeah,
one.
there is no...
There's nothing...
It's better than the last few I've seen.
Okay.
In this person's opinion. And to me, there's no rhyme or reason why it's not due to how bad the film is.
No, it's not. Of course it's not. It's because all the cast are all females.
Yeah.
That's why that film bombed.
Yeah.
That's not my opinion, by the way. That's a fact. I haven't seen it, but I've heard from the people that have seen it that it's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's an agenda, man.
It is. It is an agenda.
And
There's
then,
also an anti-Marvel agenda around at the minute as well.
Alex, it's time to take some hits.
100%.
But I thought it was loads better than the last Ant-Man or what else was around that time? The last Thor. This was loads better.
Okay.
I
might check it out then.
I've also started season 2 of Physical 100 on
Okay,
Netflix.
this is the Korean show.
Just where people just get beasted until they collapse and have to destroy their own torso, a cast of their own torso with a sledgehammer.
Is that what you have to do?
Yeah, when you're eliminated.
You have to destroy your own torso with a sledgehammer?
Yeah.
Wow. Good job I'm not in it. They'd need a lot of plaster.
It's going to be great. So I watched the first 2 episodes. The first episode, they have a pre-task where they've just got who can run the most distance on a treadmill in a set amount of time.
Okay.
And they just knock people out.
Wow.
Keep going and keep going. And that ranks them. That ranks them all 1 to 100.
Right.
And then the second task is the same as last year. So you have all these one-on-one matches in these 3 arenas. So one looks like a UFC cage, one's like a massive puddle, and one's like a grassy like arena with almost like playground equipment in it.
Okay.
And there's a big ball. They just leave a massive beach ball sized football.
Right.
So it's leather, but it's big like a beach ball.
Heavy.
And in the middle of this arena. And they get 3 minutes one-on-one. Whoever's got the ball at the end of the 3 minutes goes through. The other one goes home. It's pretty intense. And that's as far as I've got. And it's really good fun.
Cool. Okay.
And then I have started Invincible Season 2 on Amazon.
I've not got to that yet. I loved the first season, but I've not got to season 2.
I think it's all there now.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Really good. Yeah, can't wait to see what happens there.
Sweet. Okay.
How about you?
There's also something on this list that I've watched that I've not written down. It's a 2-part feature-length documentary. So there's 2 episodes, but they're an hour and a half each.
Okay.
And it's called Steve.
Right.
And it's on Apple TV. And it's a documentary about the life and career of Steve Martin.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, I've heard of this.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I really enjoyed the first one.
Brilliant.
Because he's one of those guys that he's always been around, but you don't really know much about. I think he was a lot more famous in America in his early days than he was over here.
For his stand-up stuff.
Stand-up stuff, definitely. And how zany and crazy and off the wall he was.
Yeah.
And still is. I really enjoyed it. Definitely check out the first one, at least, if you can.
I don't really know much about him other than he's an
accomplished
banjoist.
I could not find anything to watch one night, and I was like, I'm just going to watch that, because the Robin Williams one was really good. The Michael J. Fox one was really good that Apple did.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll watch this Steve Martin one and see what I can learn about Steve Martin. And I watched the first one and I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. Also on Apple TV this week, I have started a show called Loot. Ever heard of Loot?
What's Loot?
Loot is a sitcom starring Maya Rudolph.
Okay.
And she plays the recently divorced wife of a tech billionaire.
Right.
Who's just, because of the divorce, come into $36 billion of her own.
Oh, really?
But then she starts working with a charity that she didn't know she owned.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets a job working for them. So she actually goes there, gets a day job, and although she's got all this money, she wants to be in the real world. And it's about how a woman who's never had to work is now working. And there's a cast of very funny side characters. And I've seen the first 9 episodes, I think, this week.
Oh, nice.
It's only 30 minutes. They're easy to watch. And it's really fun. Maya Rudolph's funny anyway.
Yeah.
But it was really good. I've really enjoyed it so far.
Oh, bro.
Again, also on Apple TV. Netflix-wise, I have started watching Ripley.
Oh, good.
Which is the new Tom Ripley TV show. Andrew Scott starring Black and White for some reason TV show. First, I want to say I've done 3 episodes. The first one really got me hooked in. I was like, yeah, I'll stick with that. And I've been with it ever since. I'm kind of on board with it. I don't know why it's in black and white. I think it's
arty-farty.
It's arty-farty. It is arty-farty. There's no need for it to be in black and white. But I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's really funny because they keep describing colours.
Oh, really?
It's like, oh, look at this purple robe I'm wearing. And I'm like, that's black, mate. So yeah, they describe colour quite a lot in it, which is quite humorous. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So I'll let you know. I don't know how many there are. I have no idea.
I don't know.
So
I've not started that yet.
I'll keep you. And then also last Sunday in the Discord we did our monthly watch along.
Yes, how was that? I couldn't
Unfortunately,
attend.
you couldn't attend for whatever reason. So I just thought I'd fill you in on what you missed out on.
Yes, please.
So we did a double header because we picked a movie that was only just over an hour long.
Yes.
And it was called Killer Kites. And it's
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime. And we thought it's only an hour long. That'll be a nice, easy watch. And it was, I have to say, it was the longest hour-long movie I've ever seen in my life. To the point where we, at one point, debated turning it off.
Wow.
And my God, it was bad. You know I love a bad movie.
Yeah.
But this one was not.
Irredeemable.
Irredeemable. Remember Birdemic?
Yes.
It's that with kites.
Okay.
They're mostly CGI kites, which kites are like the easiest thing in the world.
Can I just confirm we're not talking about the bird?
We're talking about a
the
paper kite.
The thing on a bit of string that kids fly.
The story is that a lady inherits a trunk, and inside the trunk is a paper kite made of paper that is a family heirloom, I think, but is also cursed and goes around slicing people's throats open.
Yeah, it happens. More than you think.
It's also about the Nazis' persecution of the Jews during the Second World War.
Okay. It works on many levels.
They may have been saying kites, but they were definitely meaning something else. Apart from the news reporter, because bottom of the stream you have to have a news reporter, who was the highlight of the film.
Uh-huh.
Turns out he was the director of the film as well.
Okay.
It was diabolical. It was awful. It was, for me to say a film like that is awful.
Fantastic.
It was bad. So that finished, and we were like, we need to find something else. So we scrolled through a few, and we settled on a movie called The Beaster Bunny.
Well, it's that time of
Because
year.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's that time of year. And this is about a 50-foot Easter bunny that's going around murdering people
Yeah, I mean,
in this small town.
a lot harder to hide those than a
You would
kite.
think, wouldn't you? But you'd be surprised how many people didn't spot this thing coming. Now, the Beaster Bunny, how can I describe what the actual monster was? It was a string puppet
Okay.
that had been recorded on a green screen
Yeah.
and then sized up and put into the film.
Okay.
So it never had any speed because it was just flopping
Lolloping
around, lolloping around
Yeah.
on... It was never in the same scene as anybody else. And occasionally people would run past it and then look up and just scream and then they'd be dead. I've never seen so many boobs in a film.
Right.
We debated at one point whether we'd accidentally started watching porn because there was, but we always look at the cast list and most of them are ex-porn stars
Right.
who are in it. There must have been 20 boobs. There must have been individual boobs. And then lots of like dismembered people just
Yeah.
flying around. There was no analogy in this film. It was just about a bunny that wanted to murder people.
It's the true meaning of Easter.
Again, it was awful. This was not a successful watch along, and you chose the best one to avoid, I think.
I mean, some people, they might think you've just done the best advert ever to join our Discord and,
Yeah.
come to a watch along.
The best thing about them, both of them, is that we watched them in the Discord and we could be together watching them.
Yes, exactly.
But we're always chatting away in the Discord. But when you know a film's bad, when we just stop talking, and we were just like, "What is this?" And I think some people were even just like doing other stuff. I think I lost the audience. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we need to be more careful about the movies we pick for the watch along. I think, but it was entertaining.
It was
Nonetheless.
a group decision.
It was a group decision. I'm not taking any.
You don't
credit
take
for
the
it.
blame.
I'm not taking any credit or blame. I wanted to watch.
Oh no, definitely take the credit when it's a good one.
I wanted to watch Blood and Honey too, but I couldn't find it streaming anywhere yet. So we need to wait for that to come out, I think.
Fine.
Right, what are we doing next?
I genuinely have no idea.
Okay, cool. We're going to do the top 10 in a random country. Shall we do the top 10 in the UK first? We've not
Yes,
done the UK
let's
for
do
a
that.
little while, have we? Top 10 films in the UK at the moment is number 10 is 8 for Silver.
Does that say 8?
Yes.
Because it also looks like light.
And Fight.
Yeah.
It's a bad font, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an awful font. Is it a zombie movie? There's
Yes.
like a woman with tentacles zooming
Oh.
out of her.
Tree Branches, maybe?
Who knows?
I've never heard of that.
No.
Okay. I will check that out and see what it is. Number 9 is Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
Indeed.
Any ideas?
Are we saying comedy? It's an Emma Thompson plus someone else?
That's Emma Thompson in the poster. It looks comedic. Never heard of it. We definitely don't stick at the top of the stream, do we? Number 8, The Wages of Fear.
Okay.
I remember we talked about that when we were doing the What's Coming in April.
I think so, yeah.
Because I said people are being scared if they're getting paid. Because I'm really funny. Number 7, Top Gun Maverick.
It's
sticking around.
Sure is sticking around.
3rd week on the charts. Number 6 is Glass.
I don't think I've seen Glass.
This is the...
It's again, a very,
Third.
very long awaited sequel to...
Unbreakable. This is the prequel.
Yes.
So the second one was Split,
Yeah.
and the third one was Glass.
And this is the one that brings them all together, isn't it?
Yes. The second one, I hated Split. I thought it was terrible, but I really enjoyed Glass.
Okay.
So yeah, Glass is all right. I didn't like Split. Number 5 is No Escape.
It looks like a sort of...
I've seen No Escape.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I was going to say it looks direct to DVD. Pierce
Yeah,
Brosnan
that's probably
and
why
Owen
I've seen
Wilson.
it. It's... They go, Owen Wilson and if it's the film I'm thinking of, Owen Wilson and his family go on holiday
Right.
and a civil war breaks out in the country they're in and they
Oh.
need to try and get out
Okay.
before they get murdered. If that's the film I'm thinking it is, I've definitely seen that movie when Owen Wilson's in it.
Fine.
And from that scene there, that looks like what's happening.
Yes, I agree.
So
I
I think
agree
I've
with
seen No Escape. I don't remember Pierce Brosnan being in it though. Number 4, The Beautiful Game.
Yes, that is a new Netflix original movie about the English team trying to win the Homeless World Cup.
Yes, my mum and dad watched it last weekend. Said it was very good.
Okay, cool.
Bill Nye?
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Go on.
Were we not? Was it My Stag Do we were on where
There was a Homeless World Cup going on at your stag do.
in front of Wembley?
Yeah, we went on a tour of Wembley for your stag
Yeah.
do, didn't we? And there was like a homeless football tournament going on
Yeah.
outside. I
It
had
may
this
not-
conversation
it may
with my
not
dad
have-
last weekend.
It may not have been the World Cup.
No, it may not have been the World Cup, but there was definitely some sort of homeless football tournament
Yeah.
going on while we were at Wembley. What year would that have been? What year did you get married?
2011.
Okay, we'll do some research to see where the homeless World Cup was in
Yeah.
2011. Number 3 is Emily the Criminal.
Okay.
That's only just come out. I think that came out the last couple of days.
Is that Aubrey Plaza? I think it is.
Looks like her.
That's who I always get confused with. I can't speak. Anna Kendrick.
That's not Anna Kendrick.
No.
So that must be Aubrey Plaza. Is that what you're
Okay.
telling me?
Yes.
Cool. Number 2 is The Bad Guys. This is the new DreamWorks animated movie about
Sure. It's a heist
movie villains.
It's a heist movie.
They're all like villains, aren't they? Number one is Scoop. That's a pretty fresh top 10. So Scoop is the Prince Andrew interview documentary. Not documentary.
It's a movie.
Biopic.
Yeah.
Movie.
Biopic. It's just about that interview.
What is a film called when it's just about one moment in time?
A film.
Because a biopic's about a life.
Yeah.
But this isn't. This is about a life, but only for like a day.
Yeah. Sure. I'm going to watch this because it interests me. And I think the job that they have done, is it Rufus Sewell who plays
Yeah.
Prince Andrew? They have done wonders with the makeup on him.
Same with Gillian Anderson playing Emily Maitlis as well.
Yeah.
She looks just like her.
Yeah.
Okay, you watch it. Let me know how it is, and if it's any good, I'll watch it.
Okay.
So I don't have any inclination to at the moment, but I do love Gillian Anderson. Why can't either of us talk today? What is going on? I was going to call her Gillian Ankleson.
That'd be a great name.
We'll just quickly run through TV in the UK, shall we? While
Sure.
we're here. Number 10 is Homicide New York. That follows New York cops who do homicides. Is It Cake is back, season 3.
Yeah, is it Cake 3?
Is it cake or is it a burger? I'm just describing the picture. And number 8 is Dexter. The whole Dexter season 1. The whole of Dexter's just appeared onto Netflix.
Yeah,
this
this is interesting
Snuck
actually.
on, didn't it?
Because obviously we usually do the what's coming next
Yeah.
month. And Dexter was nowhere to be seen.
Dexter was not on that list.
So a deal has been struck.
Quite soon, but quite quickly by the looks of it.
So
because
all
all 8 seasons.
the original
Yeah, the
8
original 8.
seasons of Dexter are now available on Netflix UK.
Why is Netflix not making a big deal of that? It's like
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
greatest TV shows of all time.
For half of it. Yeah.
Pretty much until the last episode.
No, the second 4 seasons nowhere near.
Yeah, well, that's because the 4th season is the best season of any TV show.
The showrunner changed as well
Yeah, it did,
partway
yeah,
through,
yeah.
didn't it?
Number 7 is Bad Dinosaurs.
Great. Kids animation, I presume.
Yep, looks like it. Number 6 is Ripley.
Nice.
That's low. I was expecting that to be higher.
Do you think black and white will put people off?
Yes, 100%. And
Yeah,
I know
it
for a
will,
fact it
won't it?
has some people at work.
Yeah.
So, because I said to some people at work, I've started watching Ripley, and they're like, "Oh, is it any good?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's in black and white."
Not as many
The
aliens in
conversation-
it as you
The
thought.
conversation dies there. Not as many aliens in it. Oh, I've just talked about work people. I need to be really careful talking about work people. Number 5, Files of the Unexplained, season 1. This is like aliens abducted my granddad, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Number 4 is Together, treble winners.
It's the Manchester City sports documentary.
Yep. Who's this guy?
It's Jack Grealish.
Is it?
Yeah, he's just very wet.
It is very
So
wet.
his hair is all slickened back. That's when he went on like a 3-week bender.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Good on him. The free body
would,
problem.
wouldn't
Yeah. Free body problem is at number 3.
Have you not watched any more of this?
I finished it.
Oh, okay.
I
Where was that in your list?
completely forgot to mention it because it was completely forgettable.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
I was going to say, to me, it seems like you've nailed the second half of that series
I did. I watched the
since
first
last week.
couple and I wasn't like overly impressed with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle, I thought it got quite good.
Yeah.
And then it didn't.
Do you just feel has it got momentum for a season 2? Is there
It'll
is
get
it
a season
cliffhangers
2.
or
There are cliffhangers. Well, there's nothing. There's no explanation
nothing's been-
whatsoever.
Right, okay.
You've no idea what's going on still. So if it doesn't get a season 2, I would be surprised.
It would have to.
It will have to get a season 2. But then this is Netflix. You can't guarantee anything with Netflix.
This will.
But I don't. Yeah, this will. But I don't know if I'd go to it. If I'm honest.
Is the real life story behind this more interesting that we talked about last week?
Once the true crime documentary comes out, I'll be watching that. I don't know. It just seemed like a bit of a damp squib at the end. Nothing kind of happened, and it's all a shame because I'd been looking forward to the free body problem for ages.
But you know what? The official word on that will be sort of, it needs to be seen as a whole
And to be fair,
sixth season or whatever.
That's fair because you could say the same thing about many shows in the past.
Netflix. My understanding of that show, and I will get around to it, is that's Netflix knew what they were signing up for.
Yeah.
It's
a long story.
It's a long-term investment.
And I guess I'm just not used
Even
to
if no
having
one
that from
watches it by
Netflix.
then. Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But I just didn't think much to the first season. And number 2 is Cleaning Up, which is an ITV drama that Netflix seem to have invested in.
Okay.
With this lady.
That is Sheridan
Smith.
Smith.
It is, correct. And number 1, still number 1, is The Gentleman for the 5th
This is
consecutive
doing numbers.
week. Really numbers. Really good numbers.
Yeah.
5 weeks in the chart. Pretty much all 5 weeks at number 1 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It is.
You seen it?
No.
No, not me.
I really like that movie as well.
Yeah, I did as well. I will get to that. I'm not there at the minute. Not in the right headspace. Films in. Stop me when you find.
Stop.
Oh, that was too quick. I hadn't even started. Let's go.
Stop.
Croatia. Top 10 films in Croatia at the minute. Number 10 is The Maze Runner.
I've never seen any of them.
Have you not?
No.
They're all right. They had to stop because this guy got really badly injured, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got injured on film on the film set and ended up in hospital for years.
Is it
I don't know if
finished now?
No, I don't think it ever did.
Oh.
And if it did, I don't know if he finished it, but he got really badly maimed. Number 9 is Scoop in Croatia. Scoop, not as big a deal in that sort of part of the world.
I just like saying scoop.
Number 8 is No Pressure. That popped up in the charts last week.
It did somewhere else.
Yeah, it's an old lady in a casket.
Yeah, a dead grandma thing.
It's a dead grandma thing. Number 7 is Emily the Criminal.
That'll make a good t-shirt.
Number 6 is The Beautiful Game. Number 5 is One Day.
Oh, the movie. So that's the Anne Hathaway and
Yeah.
I can't remember who played the man.
Not me. People are obviously watching the show and loving it. And so
Also, the thumbnail that they've used here for the film One Day in Croatia is clearly just a really zoomed in portion of the bigger movie poster.
It's
not a still from the film,
No.
and it's not the whole movie poster. It's literally just their heads, because it's like Anne Hathaway's really going for it in that kiss.
She really is.
And it feels like a bit inappropriate with that zoomed in.
It does.
That's my comment on the
I agree.
thumbnail.
I'm with you.
Thumbnail review. There you go.
Number 4, Heart of the Hunter.
Action movie.
Action movie.
Guns.
Netflix original by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Glass. Number 2 is The Wages of Fear.
That's doing quite well as well.
Number 1 is The
The
Tearsmith.
Tearsmith. That looks a bit dreamy, fairy tale.
I was going to say vampires.
I was going to say sort of Sandman-y.
Yeah. There's a very airbrushed people. Very beautiful people airbrushed. But okay. TV shows, this is where the fun is. where we'll find some fun.
In what country?
Oh yeah, we need to change the country.
You can do Croatia again if you want.
No.
Stop!
Qatar.
Yes.
TV in Qatar are together treble winners.
Oh, they like their football, don't they?
They do. They're Man City mad over there.
And is it the Qataris that own Man City? Or is that Saudi Arabia? I don't know.
No
I
idea.
don't know football.
Physical 100 season 2 is at number 9.
Lovely.
Bad Dinosaurs season 1 is at number 8. From season 1 is at number 7. From's on Netflix over there.
Yeah, it's definitely not on Netflix over here, is
No,
it?
it's
You
not.
watched that, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
It's 2 seasons of From so far. It's a really good show. It's Harold Perrineau's weird town, stuck in a weird town TV show.
I've looked at the word "from" on the screen too long, and it now doesn't look like a word. Can we move on?
Okay.
Do you know when that happens?
Yeah. Number 6, The Gentleman. Number 5, The Free Body Problem. Number 4, Queen of Tears.
I'm not
Limited series.
too sure about your pronunciation
Of what?
of the name of these. Well, usually you would read the native language.
Unfortunately, I don't read Arabic. Is that Arabic? I thought I was reading it quite well because I'm getting what they're all called. I'm not reading the English translation. I'm reading this bit.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Queen of Tears. Any ideas what that is?
No, well, Diana was the Queen of Hearts,
True.
so I don't know where I'm going with this.
I think she looks really sad and he looks really happy, so he screwed her over in some way.
She is arranged to him, and she's not happy about it.
They've both got weird eyes. They're definitely photoshopped, those eyes.
Yes, I think. Yeah,
Number 3, The Great Indian Kapil Show.
lovely.
What's that, Nick?
I'm going chat show. I mean, it looks like there's a sofa and a chair, and
Them 2 men are on the back of a golf cart.
it's lovely.
Might also be set at an airport because there's a gate sign there.
Some sort of chat / game show. I'm going to say.
Agreed. Parasite the Grey.
I do fancy
Is it
checking
number
this
2?
out. You know,
This is surprisingly not in the charts in the UK.
no, and I'm kind of thinking some of those things we've talked about where we've gone, oh yeah, I do want to watch it, and I'll get to it. Like The Gentleman.
Yeah.
This would be above it on my list.
Yeah, this would for me as well.
I've seen the
This-
trailer for this, and
Yeah, I
this
have.
looks really, really cool.
Yeah. Things like this jump in the way of shows like that, though.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, I'll watch The Gentleman if I've got nothing else to watch. And then there's something like this will come out, and I'll be like, okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But that's not in the charts in the UK. That's
No, it's not at
surprising.
all.
You know, that is surprising. And number 1 is Testament, the story of Moses, season 1. That seems to be doing well all over the world.
Okay.
Keeps popping up. And that's what's happening in Qatar TV at the moment.
Moses for the win.
Absolutely. What are we watching on the movie show this week, Nick?
Come back to this very feed on Thursday as we watch a British movie,
We do.
a British comedy movie.
Yep.
Strange Ways Here We Come.
That's what it's called for some reason.
It's a Smiths song.
It is a Smiths song. It's the
And
name
it's
of
set
the
in
Smiths
Manchester.
final album. It is. Correct.
So that's
why it's called that.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think I'm excited to talk about it. Certainly feels like it was a movie full of people where I'd go, that's that bloke from that thing.
Yeah.
Or that lady from that thing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna be
interested to see where it
It
finishes
is going to be
in
a
our stream
very
table.
interesting episode on Thursday. So be back here on Thursday on the very same stream for the movie show, and be back here next Monday for The Wave.
Cheers!
Bye.